Yes, the topic.
What
So
mistakes did you make in your past relationships, and what did you learn from it?
I don't really like this word mistakes because
I'm with
everything
you.
happens for a reason.
Oh God.
Um, I made a lot actually. I made a lot. And to at least one of my exes, I've like apologized and acknowledged
Mm.
directly to him for some of my tomfoolery in my youth. And I think that for me that I think it was important. It was important for him because he said as much, but it's also important for me to kind of acknowledge that I had a hand in what was taking place in that relationship and what was going wrong. But I think so there's a lot of potential mistakes I can talk about. The one that I'm going to talk about that I think is a little bit different is I think I have the ability to curate an image. I have and it's funny talking about the backgrounds, maybe that is like a visual representation. Like I have the ability to present myself in the most favorable of ways, right? And my family and all of these things. And the problem with that is that sometimes in doing that, sometimes there's parts of myself that I'm not acknowledging, that I'm not being honest with. And you can do that, but for so long before it impacts the relationship, right? Before it feels like something is missing, before you're hiding something, before you're looking for something to fulfill that part of yourself that you're hiding. And I think that I know that I learned kind of where that came from. I love therapy. I just want to go on record saying I love therapy. And I've done a lot of work to kind of dig back to the roots and figure out where that started. And it started really, really young. It started really young when I kind of learned what it was like how to be a good little girl, right? And what that looks like. And being a good little girl means you can't make certain mistakes. You can't embarrass your parents. You can't get super messy. And see, when you can attest to this, because you saw me in those stages of growing upness where there was one presentation that I would have to, where the grown-ups were able to see. And then there was another presentation. So I learned to kind of cut myself off and present what needed to be presented for that scenario. And that becomes destructive in relationships. And I've learned to stop doing that. I've learned to be all of me. And to not leave whoever I'm partnered with to figure out the other parts of me. Or something that also happens, I think, is when I'm presenting my good girl image, when I'm doing all of the right things, when I'm going to the right schools and, getting the right grades and knowing when I'm doing all of the right things, I think it leaves the person I'm in relationship with to be like the bad person, the bad guy, so to speak, but the person who's doing it wrong, right? Like if I'm doing all the right things, if you're not if you're not doing the right things too, then somebody has to be wrong. And then I blame it on the other person. And so that was my mistake. I think that's a little bit of a different mistake than what most people would usually come up with. And I learned to be honest. I learned to be all parts of me, to integrate parts of me. And if you don't like it, that's okay. Then I'm not meant for you, That's what I learned.
Dig it.
Okay, we still waiting for more. You
What else do you
understand?
need? That was good.
That was definitely awesome. That was
That was
definitely
good.
awesome.
I do also realize I skirted some things. I do realize that. But everything ain't for this podcast.
Nah, dig it. I remember when you came to our cipher. This was
Uh-huh.
the first time that you met Ja when you came to our cipher, and we were talking about relationships. So,
That's right.
That's
so
exactly
a
exactly
lot
came
of
out
this
like
and a
that.
lot of the conversation between men and women is a lot of the times it's going to come back to relationships and what goes on with it, what goes on in it, outside of it, how it looks like. And we're not trying to say which right or wrong, hence not right or wrong. But if anything that we say, if it helps you, take it and run with it. We're just trying to be as truthful as possible based on experiences we've been through and are still going through in this life. But I remember when you came to our cipher and we was talking about, you know, relationships and different things like that. And then the light bulb and how that turned into a whole other story with the light
Yeah,
bulb, me not wanting to put up the light bulb, me
How many
needing to
times
be
you got to be
and
asked?
me needed to be enticed to put put in the light bulb. That just went into a whole other realm. But I remember you speaking in regards to relationships and how you looked. You understand? So when people speak about relationships and when they're in a relationship and they're happy, people don't speak with words. As much as it is that you hear it, people speak with their face. You understand? So you can't just make that up. You can't make up joy. You can't make up happiness. You can't do it because you'll put on a different face. So now, as people that's gonna watch the podcast, they're gonna go in the mirror and start rehearsing. Damn, let me show this face. You can't make that up. But your face showed joy. Your face showed happiness. That's how you look when you were there inside of that, when we were inside of the cipher and you were speaking and that capacity and just how happy you were and how this person made you feel in this relationship. And even though we heard the words and we were listening, everything said that within your face. And
Okay.
that's a beautiful feeling to have. And I want you to have that again.
And what you just pointed out to me is that I still have more work to do. Because if you remember, we had a discussion after the cipher, and I told you that that relationship was pretty much trash at that point, that it was almost done. And you, I don't know if you remember, but you were like, "Are you kidding me? Are you serious?" I thought, no, it's almost done. It's on its last legs. So that speaks to my ability to curate an image. So
Wow.
clear. So I got more work to do. Thank you, Seymour.
Dig it, dig it,
I'll do more work
dig
around
it,
that.
dig it.
Yeah. But the other side of that is that it leads people to not know when I'm in distress, or not know when I need help, or not know when I'm sad, or not, like, all of those things. I do such a good job in all of the worst ways of curating this image that people generally believe it. And so generally people think, oh, Tamika got her life together. No, I'm going through the same stuff y'all going through together. What? No, I don't. But I curate the image without even thinking half the time. So, but it's one thing on what it means outside of the relationship into the public. It's something different inside of the relationship. Inside of the relationship, I think it can become really insidious. Like, really, like, it sounds like, maybe a good problem to have, but it's absolutely not.
And we probably could go around and say what that is. That sounds like that may be a defense mechanism. I know what my defense mechanism is to me, and I normally tend to use laughter as a defense mechanism. no matter how dire the situation may be, whatever it is that we may be talking about, it may be a conversation about me and how effed up I may have done something you are. I'm gonna start laughing. It's just a defense mechanism for me to start laughing. Because if I don't laugh, I'm gonna cry. So I have to make this funny to me. And at the same time, it may appear to be insensitive to the other person because they're very serious. But I still may start laughing. And it's not me saying to you that what you're saying doesn't have any value to me. I'm listening. But I'm laughing to protect me. I understand everything it is that you're saying, but this is a defense mechanism for me. And if you ask me a question, I may answer it, but the laughter is no reflection on the person and what they're saying. It's just a defense mechanism for me. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I still do. Whether or not that's right or wrong, but some people may think that that's insensitive. But this is just what works for me, and just to keep me to protect myself from whatever hurt may come from whatever this person may say.
Yeah.
Brother Jai, what about you?
Real.
What a defense mechanism that you may have in that regard?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Trying to think.
Go ahead, Professor.
I think defense mechanism. Damn, that's a good ass question. That's something that I haven't really.
You can think about it. You know this topic gonna come up again.
Yeah.
You know this gonna come up again.
Yeah, that's interesting. Defense mechanism. I would probably I would probably saying acquiescing, probably being agreeable. Although in my heart, I don't think it's right. Just to prevent conflict, because it's not so much of being afraid of the person. At times I could be afraid of myself because of my temperament. So I'd rather acquiesce and be in agreement so the conflict don't escalate. When I could put it to you like this. Here's something I could share with y'all. I know when there's certain people who carry a certain energy that's very powerful, right? So me as a person, I sense that powerful energy about the person. Like they could be just as combative or conflicting as I could be. So rather to create a very ugly and messy situation between myself and said person, if I'm not in agreement with that person, I will probably acquiesce, and just to prevent conflict, just to eliminate conflict altogether. I don't know if I'm articulating it right. Can y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying it right. So it's like I don't want a situation to escalate very volatile to where it becomes violent. So I would acquiesce, like, all right. Being agreeable may mean laughing, like you said, Mark. Try to diffuse the situation, make it lighthearted, make a joke, or change the subject, or just agree with them. Although in my heart, I'm like, I don't feel that in my heart. That's right. Yeah, this ain't right, but I'm gonna agree anyway. So I probably have to say that. I have to be mindful of how often I acquiesce to someone else with regards to a difference of opinion or situation. Yeah. So compromising my tenant. So in turn, Tennyson, compromising my own integrity. You know what I mean? So yeah. So that has happened often.
That's deep.
Mm-hmm.
So allow me to bond with you.
Yeah.
I can't let you have a story like that, like you mentioned with your simp story.
Yeah.
And me. Allow me to bond with you.
Yeah.
So for our, if we still using the terminology simping.
Yeah.
So there was this young lady. She worked in this store down in the village. I think it was Jeans Plus. I think that was the store down in the village, right off.
That's not familiar.
West 4th.
It does sound familiar.
Right.
Jeans Plus,
yeah,
I think I'm familiar with that store. Jeans Plus,
on 6th Avenue, right down the block from the cage.
Right
down the block from the cage.
Yes, sir. There you go.
So, back in the day, everybody used to hang in the village because that's where all the girls were. I mean, regular. Come on, man, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister hit me to that. Like, Mark, listen, you need to go down there. It's cool restaurants. I ain't going down there. God, I hang down there.
Mm-hmm.
So once she mentioned it, the first thing that drew me down there was Tower Records. As you all know, I love music. So I said, let me go down there to Tower Records. Then once I started going down there and walking by NYU and Broadway, the Cage and all that, I said, oh, this is the place to be. So fast forward, she worked at Jeans Plus. So I'm down there with one of my homeboys. We about to head back uptown, walk towards the D train at West 4th. Boom. We happened to look in the store and we saw her standing there, near the jeans, just standing there. And we all stopped. Me and my mom like, oh my God, who is this? I mean, she was gorgeous. Traffic stop gorgeous. Just wow. Okay, cool. So none of us went in the store and hollered at her. I said, damn, I need to approach this a little different. So we both got on the train. He saw just how good she looked as I did. He was like, listen, man, whoever get the number first, the next person fall back. Now, never did anything like that with my homeboy. Never. But he was like, yo, she, whew. Okay, cool. So went back down to the store the next day. I bought a dozen roses, put a card in it, my phone number in it, went to the store. She was off that day. She didn't work. I went into the store. I said, the young lady, I didn't know her name. Oh, yeah, I know her. Yeah, she works, da-da-da. She'll be here tomorrow. Could you give this to her? She took it behind the counter. It's safe with me. I'll make sure you give it to her. What's your name? I said, I'm Mark. Everything is in the card. Okay, Mark. Cool. So 2 days later, she called me. Right? Extremely apprehensive. She don't know who I am. I could be, what do they say? An axe murderer. That's like the worst thing in the world. When people say, you better be careful. He could be an axe murderer. Right?
Right.
That's the cliche, the axe murderer. I could be an axe murderer. So she's extremely apprehensive on the phone.
Yeah, we used to say that a lot, right? Axe murderer.
That's the cliche. Listen, you better be careful. You be an axe murderer.
You know what I mean?
So she's extremely apprehensive. So I go through the whole spiel. I was downtown with my homeboy. I saw you, left my phone on my car. I wanted to get to know you. Where can we go from there? Okay, cool. So the initial conversation, she gave me her phone number. As soon as she gave me her phone number, I went outside. Told my homeboy, I got her number. All right, it's all on you. I'm going to fall back. Okay. So this is how we're bonding. So now I got the number. Now I'm hyped. So I call up one day. She pick up the phone. Hey, what's going on? How are you? How you doing? This is Mark. Oh, Mark, how you doing? Listen, I just got in from work. Let me give you a call back. I'm going to give you a call back in like 5 minutes. All right, cool. No doubt. Waiting by the phone. That 5 minutes turned into 50 minutes. That 50 minutes turned into no phone call. I ain't stressing it. Call back another day. Hey, what's up? How you doing? This is Mark. Hey, what's up, Mark? How you doing? I'm going to give you a call back in 10 minutes because I'm talking to my aunt on the other line. I'm going to call you right back. You busy? Nah, I'm waiting. Let me call. Give me 15 minutes.
She had call waiting. Okay.
All right, 15 minutes never came. Okay, cool. Call back another time. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? This is Mark. Talk to you for a few minutes. Oh, Mark, yeah, I'm good. I had a good day. Mark, let me give you a call back because I'm getting ready to step out. Once I come back, I'm going to give you a call right back. All right. So this pattern was going on for about 2 or 3 weeks. Me calling, hey, how you doing? I'm busy. I got to go to the store. I'm talking to family. Everything but us conversating. So from the time I got her phone number, we never had a conversation. This is all busy, everything going on. This is going on for about two weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. I'm still calling her. I'm like, yo, she is bad. I'm gonna take this abuse maybe one more week. All right, call one more time. Same spiel. You bet. Okay. All right, cool. Hung up the phone. Stop calling. F that. I ain't calling no more. So now 2 weeks go by. Phone ring. I pick up the phone. Hello? Hey, Mark, how you doing? What's up? Oh, so you can immediately sense the tone. How you been? You know, I noticed you don't call me no more. I said, listen, clearly your lifestyle is a lot busier than mine. You got a whole lot going on in your lifestyle. I don't want to convenience it in any way or be a deterrent in what you got going on with your life, your family, you going to the store, and other people that call you. So I don't want to be involved in that mix. So you have a nice life. Bam! Hung the phone up. Felt so good about that. The next day, she called me back. Started blowing up the phone crazy. Phone on fire all the time. All the time. I had to start avoiding the calls.
Yeah.
Why it took that for me to have her call me, I don't know. You know, I mean, there's no happy ending to it. It didn't turn into a relationship or anything like that. There's another story in keeping with her, but I won't mention it here. But I just wanted to bond with my brother and keeping what he mentioned, that same thing, what I was doing for that 2 or 3 weeks where I was just calling every day. Despite all the signs, like, Mark, she ain't even calling you back. At some point, I had to look at myself like, Mark, come on now. Come on. Still?
Yeah. But you see how you flipped it? And she started chasing you a little bit now? Even after you said what you said to her? It's something.
The psychology is crazy.
Yeah, the psychology. Yeah, the psychology is interesting.
It's crazy. And I was totally fine with her never calling again because clearly, she don't want to talk to me.
Right.
It's all right. It's all good.
But I'm focusing on the conversation you had with her when she called you and you said, I don't want to waste your time. Because come
on.
You hit her with the little sarcasm, like, going to the store.
Come on, your family calling you. Every time I call you, come on. You gotta go. You just got from work. No matter what time. Come on. Right. So if I call in the morning, you just got from work.
Right.
Come on, you hitting me with some bullshit. That's some lame shit.
She was clearing up some stuff. She was in the process of clearing it up. She didn't want to totally cut you off yet. It took a little longer than she expected, but once the situation was clear, then she's like, oh, where's this fella at?
Yeah.
I can believe that. I can believe that. Yeah, I can believe that. I can definitely believe that. That's the that's
she had a little situation.
Listen. Yeah, it was a situation. I can believe that. It was definitely a situation.
You live and learn though.
Live and learn, yeah.
That's the one. Well, the one truth in life, what they always say is that life will always change. It's always going to be change. Always. That is a constant in life, that things will always change.
On that note, I think we're gonna wrap it, y'all. We've been kicking it for a minute.
Yeah.
I love it. Not right, not wrong.
Not right, not wrong.
Not right, not wrong.